Good morning. So this is what I look like when I fall out of bed and do nothing. Like, nothing. I brushed my teeth and hit the door. I realized as I hit the door, I don't even have on sunscreen. So thank God I have some in the back because my face is parched. All right, you guys. So last night we got into really bad service and I accidentally hit, like don't publish when I went to hit, just when a video ends, it says like delete, publish, don't publish. Well, I hit don't publish and I have to get on the desktop to publish that because I can't do it from my phone. But I am headed to Starbucks and I thought right now would be like a really good moment to have a talk, right? Isn't that what we always be a good moment to let's talk? So one thing that I can tell you guys is that nobody is ever going to be immune to hate in their life. And the hate that hurts the most, or the part of it that's going to hurt the most in your life, is always going to come from people that you love. It's never going to come from, it's never going to come from strangers. Yes, when a complete stranger dislikes you and says something bad about you, in the beginning it stings because you have to grow into this. Like, I will just tell you that there's going to be people watching this that are like, I don't really have haters. Well, that's fine. Like, I can probably tell you that you're not really out trying to grind then, and that's okay. Like, thank God, that you just live an uncomplicated little life. But any of you that step outside the box and are like, you know what, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to grind in life. I am going to be better. I am going to, grow my business. I'm going to step outside the box. I'm going to develop my own little niche, whatever. I can always tell whenever the Hunger Games Facebook style is going. So right now you can tell that this video is shadow banned. There's only 60 people watching and they've put a star party. And so we have in it right away. Normally they wait till they're partway in the video to do it. So you guys send stars if you can. I just have to laugh a little bit that I don't understand Facebook's tactics. It's like, I understand, because what they're trying to do is they probably have sent this video to lots of people who maybe have never sent stars before. And they're going to do a star party so that I will encourage star parties, because we need the star party revenue and we need the star streak revenue to be able to pay a lot of the extra vet bills. So they know, hey, this is somebody that really, really uses the stars and the star party. So they know that I'm going to be like, hey, you guys, send stars. And they've invited a lot of people to this video who have probably never sent stars before. And it's their behind the scenes tactics, and it's fine. But if you guys can send stars, I would greatly appreciate it, because just FYI, those are how a lot of the extras get paid. Like Asia, I could not have even remotely stomached her vet bill. I haven't even done Bear, sit down in the back. Bear is being super needy this morning. I can always tell when my dog that's his butt, by the way, that just slammed me in the side of the face. Bear, you are sitting on my stuff, buddy. He does not care. He doesn't care. Anybody here have a really super needy big dog? You own a big dog who... Bear, I've had to pull the cart over to accommodate your need in life. Hi, buddy. Just come here. Look at him just being so needy. Hi, come here. What's wrong? Bear said 10 stars. Why are you in the front seat and why am I having to pull over on the side of the road? He said because he was climbing in the car. My dog was climbing in the car, that's why. All right, you guys, so let's just try to kill this star party, and then that way Facebook will be like, oh, okay, she can do it, and we'll just... Man, I love the star parties, but I hope that you guys see now where some of that frustration for me was, just because I want to dive into a video and I want to really talk to you guys about things that I think are just really important and really great. And Facebook is like, send stars. Send stars. And I'm like, okay, let me stop my thought process. I am literally going to get McDonald's.
McDonald's, are you on my rewards member?
No.
That's all right. How can I help you today?
I need 2 sausage McMuffins, but I want to substitute Canadian bacon.
2 sausage muffins, Canadian bacon. What else?
Please. 2 hot mustards. I need a large caramel mocha hot with whole milk. And
Caramel mocha.
Yes, and a bottle of water.
And did you say you wanted some hot mustard?
Yeah, 2.
What else can I get you today?
That's it. Thank you.
862, the first one up, please pull forward.
Thank you. So I don't eat Egg McMuffins here. Like, I love the Egg McMuffin. I just don't love the egg. All right, you guys, we only need 290 stars to kill this star party. And we have a minute left on the clock. So if we could just get those, I don't even, there's 50 more. Okay, Shelly, thank you. All right, you guys, we are counting down. Come on. We need, like 250 stars. So if anybody has a star pack, like, let's kill this. Thank you, Leslie. All right, so Leslie has us on the verge. Okay, 50 more stars. I think we should be, okay, we need 50, 40. Oh, okay, okay, thank you guys so much. Denise, oh, thank you. Nina, thank you. Kitty, thank you. Leslie, thank you so much. Thank you, Donna. All right, you guys. Denise, I appreciate it. Lynn, thank you so much. You guys just kind of tipped this star party. So the biggest thing is I realized that I was watching the stars up here and there were stars sent before the star party started. So I was like, oh, we need 4,000 stars, except for people had sent stars before the star party started. So we really needed like 4,000 beyond that point. So, all right. So one thing I can tell you guys is that I really, love and appreciate the support, because in my line of work, there's a lot of disapproval and a lot of hate. There really is. And that's okay. It's okay. It's exhausting. But I think that what I'm finally coming to terms with is my Facebook has grown bigger than my Facebook has grown bigger than I would have ever assumed. Like, and that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. It's just, it's a great thing. But there is a lot of Facebook, unfortunately, is like a double-edged sword. For as much good as it does, there's a lot of people on social media, thank you so much, who lurk just to hate on people, just to be problematic, just to be really ugly, for lack of better words. They do it to just be really ugly, and I'm okay with that. And somebody said to me last night, and they sent a message and they were like, I caught your video and I'm not a hater. I just want people to know what a scamming piece of shit you are. Okay. Like, first of all, for every one person that you can get to say that, I can find 100 people that will be like, no, she's not. So just because you have an opinion of somebody, like, I guess because we have freedom of speech, like, I guess you do have the right to plaster it all over, because that's what she kept saying, and I have a right of freedom of speech to say whatever I want. Okay, but it still makes you a hater. It still makes you a hater. You're a hater. Because there's lots of people in this world that I don't like. I don't know if you guys knew that, but there's lots of people that I don't like. I just don't like them. I mean, there's people that I cannot stand. And at the end of the day, that's my opinion. So I don't go to their platform and listen to everything they say to dissect it. I don't spend my time worried about what they're doing. I mean, I just don't. I mean, and I never have. Like, I think when I was younger, I was really bad to feel like I have an opinion and I deserve to voice it. But these people are not young. A lot of these people are older. And so at the end of the day, you have to remember that there are going to be people that just don't fucking like you. There are people that just don't fucking like me. And I could save 3,000 horses a year because I do. And they're still going to feel like I should not be in business. And they're going to feel like I am a horrible person and I should be talked about. There was a girl that said in a post that I know her from real life, from my early 20s. And she was like, it's such a shame that Tara Sanders has ruined her life. Okay. Like, somebody sent me that and they were like, can you believe that Katie Thomas had, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I can tell you right now that I forgot she existed until that person screenshotted that post to me. So that's thing one. Thank you. Okay, yeah, there's a trash can over there. Bear, why are you in the front? Still don't know why my dog is in the front. And it's like he's just wanting to be on video. Thank you so much. He's just wanting to be a part, you guys. Bear is like... And I'm going to be really honest. I forgot that human even existed. I mean, I know she exists now because she said something about me publicly and it was screenshotted to me. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And you know what? My thought process wasn't, oh, I hate her. Or I was like, oh, I hope she's doing good. I haven't seen you in 10 years. I hope you're doing great. And if your thought process is that I ruined my life, the problem is where did a complete stranger think that they, like, this is where people that really lack self-development, and they just maybe have a little bit of an education, but no true self-development come in. Because this person thinks that their idea of what my life should have turned out like is the baseline of what success is for me. I didn't ruin my life. I have a following of tens of thousands of people, almost 100,000 people. 80,000 on one platform of followers, 50,000 on another platform of followers, like 20,000 on my personal Facebook because of the followers. I have 5,000 friends and like 15,000 followers. And then I have every other social media avenue that have thousands of followers. And we have a private group with 46,000 people. So that's the free group. So this person feels like I have ruined my life, and they publicly said that, and that's okay. Like, what I'm trying to stress to you guys is not like, please understand, like, I don't need a pat on the back. This isn't a conversation with, oh, Tara, I don't need that. What I need for you guys to understand is that other people's opinions of you don't matter. I mean, how ignorant is that person to think that I've done something to ruin my life? Like, so you read something about me on social media that you blindly believed with zero facts and felt like that one thing that happened in life ruined the rest. My life is amazing. I have a beautiful 3-year-old daughter. I have a man that thinks that I walk on the water, and I've tried to convince him on a regular basis that I'm really not all that, and he just isn't having it. He loves me beyond. I mean, Jacob loves me. He stands beside me. He is my biggest fan. And at this point in life, he has stopped being my critic. I mean, thank you so much. Janice, I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much. So there are people on there that are people. So here is what I can tell you about life. Some of the people that say the worst things about me are people that I know. And it's because when my name was mentioned, they probably were the most shocked by it, because they knew me in real life and they never thought that I was capable of those things. But instead of thinking in their mind, man, I know her and I don't think she would do that, they went, oh my God, I can't believe she did that. With no context to the story, and every time my name has been mentioned negatively in the last 9 years by an animal rescue or something online, instead of having a brain to where they went, I know this person, I've never seen her abuse an animal, I really kind of liked her, they went, oh, Tara Sanders has done it again. So there's two types of people, and understanding the psychology there, you have to remember that 90 people went, I know her. Out of 100 people that knew me, 90 people went, I know her, and there's just no way there's no way. And they went this way. And 10 people went, I can't believe she did that. You know, whatever it was. And even if I didn't have any involvement in it, these rescues have made me out to be a villain for 9 years. For 9 years. Why have they made me out to be a villain? Because they were able to fundraise based on a story that I was a horrible person. But here is the problem with this. We are not responsible for what is dropped off at the sale barns. When I purchase a horse and it is colicking, dying, sick, it has problems that I didn't know about, I am not directly responsible for those things. Now, what I can tell you that in the beginning of this really sucked, and I want you to hear this from my mouth and no one else's, is that we bought horses in the very beginning that ended up having problems that we were unaware of. And I didn't have the funds because we were just broke to be able to treat those things. And those horses either had to go directly to slaughter or they had to be shot. And there were people that was gut-wrenching for them. They were like, you should have. Okay, but here's the thing. Obviously, this horse has a chronic condition. If my husband and I deemed it as an animal that could not make it to the border without getting down, I didn't want him to get down on the truck and get stepped on. So we made the decision to shoot them. Then I had a lady come to me and she said, listen, Tara, instead of being a hater, she came to me and she said, I saw that you had a horse that was foundering. I heard the vet say that it was possibly treatable. I don't want you to shoot it. I don't want you to ship it. I want to donate the money to that animal for that horse to be treated so maybe it can find a home. Will you allow me to, I can't take the horse, but will you allow me to pay for treatment so that that horse can maybe find a home? And I said, absolutely. Like, I'm not a monster. I mean, I'm not killing the horse because I think it needs to die. Like, I'm not going to let it stand here foundering for weeks on end until it's down. I don't have the money to treat the founder. I mean, we were really, really broke at that point. And it either needs to ship to slaughter and we hope it makes it. But I really genuinely thought that by the time that horse got to the border, it would have made it to where I could be paid. But the stress of all of that probably would not have constituted the horse making it from the border to the plant. At that point, it would have been the plant's problem and on their dime, but it doesn't eliminate the suffering the horse would have gone through when it got down on the trailer into Mexico and got stomped in the face and stepped on and those things. So the lady said, okay, how about this? I'm just going to call Ted Horner and I'm going to pay. And do you have a farrier? So I called around and I found a farrier that could come out and he came out and collectively Ted did some x-rays. That farrier put clogs on it. It was a Missouri Foxtrotter. She paid for isoxaprine and I don't remember at the time if it was, I think it was Previcox. I think that was my introduction to Previcox. That was before there was Equiox. So we got the horse on this regiment and it ended up like within a week being sound, like almost 100% sound. A lady out of Tennessee purchased it and I still get updates on her to this day. And she's like 20 years old this year or 21 years old this year. And they have trail rode her for years and her feet always had to have a little bit of a wedge on them. And about 3 years ago, she refoundered slightly, and they found out that some of hers was metabolic because she's a Missouri Foxtrotter. They're a heavy breed, and they just can't turn her out in the spring on spring grass. But that's where the, hey, can you guys help me with the vet bills came from. It didn't come because my husband and I are crooked, greedy piece of shits that make six figures and beg for you guys for money. It's that my husband is not going to pay for stuff like that. If a horse comes in and it's foundering, or a horse comes in and it's not gonna make it, my husband wants to eliminate any cost. Meaning you either shoot it and write your loss off, or you ship it to slaughter because it's not homeable and you get money back out of it. And those are the two options based on my husband's opinion, and he will tell you that. My husband's opinion will never be, let's like do a bunch of vet work and just put a bunch of money in it and see if it lives. That's never going to be Jacob's. I just want you guys to know that. And if that offends you, if that affects you, if that hurts your feelings, if you don't like that, then there's two options. You can either donate towards vet bills and help me to be able to do vet work that, you feel like should be done, or don't watch. I mean, and that's just kind of where we are, and that's the bottom line. This isn't like a, hey, get on one side of the fence or the other, but like, if you're somebody that's like, I understand that, I don't have money to donate, but I still like what you do, and I understand that point of it, hey, you can watch and don't donate, and you can still take a lot of good from my videos, some entertainment, you can still be part of the tribe. Like, your presence here is not based on how much money that you can spend. Your presence here is based on the support that you offer and the energy you put into this. So if you have an opinion this long and I look next to your name and you're not a follower, you're not a supporter, you've never sent stars, you don't watch the commercials, like, I'm not going to put very much weight into your opinion, because you are somebody that probably just pops on here to be negative, and I'm not saying that you have to send stars. You can be a follower who follows for free and watches all of the commercials, and you still add revenue to my business, and I can still have equal respect for you as I do somebody that's a supporter and sends stars. Where I lose respect for people is for people that have never walked a day in my shoes, who have never, ever had to make the decisions that I've had to make, and they have a huge opinion, and they want to have white knight syndrome. They want to literally come here and save nothing. You're saving nothing. You're on a computer or on a phone at least hundreds of miles away. And, okay. So there are people from my past that knew me in person that I absolutely loved, that I still like, that read something bad about me online and it shocked them and they couldn't believe that I would do something like that. And instead of thinking that their opinion mattered and that I would never do something like that, they went, oh my God, she must be on drugs. Or, oh my God, I've seen that. I've seen people say, like, for Tara to get into this slaughter horse mess, I just remember her and, you know, like, no. Like, no, I didn't get on drugs and get into this. Like, I didn't do this because I have ruined my life and I'm some kind of a bad person. I did it because the horses needed me. And then there are people, I mean, this one person said the sole reason that I am in the hate group and that I want everybody to know that you are such a scammer is because I want people to see how much money and how much profit you make and how sad it is that you beg for stars, you are not a rescue, and you ask people to pay for vet bills. So you waste at least a small portion of your day, maybe a medium portion of your day, every single day to alert people to not follow me and to stay away from me because you don't like the fact that people donate money to the unsold horses. And they were like, yep, because you're a scammer and that's a scam. Okay, well, let me reiterate. Every dime that the horses brings in is my husband's because he's the one that purchased them. I only make the board. With that board, I pay my staff, the feed, the hay, my mortgages, my rent on my house, the one that I live in here, and okay. So then there's not much money left over without stars, without the subscription group, without, like, I couldn't pay my staff the the way that they are paid right now without the subscription group, just so you guys know. That subscription group is why they can make what they make and not less. And the stars help towards most of the vet bills, and then also helps towards like feeding better quality feed and all the extras. So there's not a lot of extra money on my end. At the end, then people will say, well, your husband is responsible for the vet bills. No, my husband's a kill buyer. So my husband's going to tell you, if this horse is going to take money, it just needs to go to slaughter. My husband doesn't want horses to be a liability. And I can preach until I'm blue in the face that lameness isn't permanent. That doesn't matter to my husband. My husband bought a lame horse, and my husband will say, if you can't sell that horse as it is to the public, then we need to ship it and get it off of the bills. That's just his point. So if you guys like me feel like that horse needs to be treated and we need to give it a fighting chance, and hey, we can collectively like rally together and like make a difference in these horses' lives, guess what? Then we're going to have to do that. There's lots of us that can pitch in. And even me, I mean, I will tell you that I pitch in. I do pitch in. I mean, a lot of the stars go to the vet bills, things like that. But anytime you guys send fly spray, grooming products, halters, those things are put to use for the unsold horses, and they are things that we would not have without you, and we just wouldn't have them. We just wouldn't have them. And there are people that get very angry because I'm the face. You see, people should probably be angry at my husband, but they don't want to be angry at my husband because my husband doesn't put his face on camera. My husband isn't the face that puts his face out there for people to be mad at. My husband is not the one who puts his name out there and puts his face out there and says, hey, wait a minute, I'm the one that told her that we are not putting $1 into this horse. I am the one who said this is not happening. I am the one who said, if this horse can't turn a profit, it needs to ship and stop being, a liability. It needs to stop being, expense. But see, they don't see that. They blame me, and that's okay. Like, I have taken the blame for 9 years. There were drivers that borrowed a trailer, took horses on a delivery, and the horse kicked through the trailer and cut its foot, and, it bled, and it was a big brouhaha. And it was my fault somehow. I wasn't in the truck and trailer. I didn't own the trailer. I had actually never seen that trailer. It was a trailer that my husband had purchased used, and it had been sitting out there, and when they needed to borrow a trailer, he lent it to them, and that draft horse kicked through the fender well, and those things, I mean, that just happens. Like, that's an accident. That's like, what I'm tired of also is when accidents happen that are not of malicious intent, blame has to be placed on me or my staff. I mean, okay, you guys watch Asia come in. You guys watched Jackie Roan come in. You've watched the sorrel mare yesterday come in. Those horses came into us with 2 feet in the grave. They were colicking, impacted, and trying to die when they arrived at my facility, and we have done everything. Last night after my massage, we went back to the farm and stayed at the farm to make sure that the sorrel mare had pooped, and she had. And so maybe today, hopefully she'll be better. But does that make sense, you guys? That people need to stop trying to place blame. There's no blame. These are just things that end up in my lap, and we're trying to clean up someone else's mess. And if these people are so genuinely absurd that they feel like blame needs to be placed around every corner, the reason that I blame ex-staff members and have let them go is because they started slacking, and I'm smart enough to know that you can slack at your job a little bit without it making a big problem. But when you start slacking to the point that I'm like, hey, the horses haven't been fed, and then next time you feed them, we have the chance of now they're like, everything has been thrown off. I don't want colic. I don't want horses that are impacted because you didn't feed breakfast and now you fed, a big dinner. Like, I want for you guys to understand that I don't think that my staff are bad people. I just also think that a lot of my staff in the past don't know as much about horses and the way their gastric